Now, once again, Raymond Arroyo.
We're with Ridley Pearson, the best-selling author of the Kingdom Keepers series and his latest book, The Return, Disneylands. Ridley, I have some story-oriented questions I have to ask you.
Good.
Let's
I love
start.
this program you're doing.
Favorite children's book in your life?
The book that had the most influence on me was Harold and His Purple Crayon, which barely counts as a book, but it was a series of books with very little writing in it.
Yeah, but they have incredible images.
This guy could like draw a rocket and then ride to the moon on it. And I had a very active imagination. I would play with army men all day. So.
Least favorite book?
Oh gosh, I don't think there are any.
None?
No, I mean none jump out at me from that time.
Dave Barry's was War and Peace, I think. There's not one you didn't like?
Oh, I mean, there are a lot of books. You mean as an adult?
Any book.
Oh, I would never say that because I know the work that goes into writing a book, and I would never slam somebody's book.
Now you make me feel bad about asking the question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well, no, that's fine.
The story that helped reorient your life the most and the lesson you drew from it.
Wow, the story that, well,
that brought you to some understanding or change.
One of the stories, my father was an alcoholic, and his story is the last story in the AA Big Book. And he directed Alcoholics Anonymous. He was the manager of it for 15 years. And his story, which is a life story and a story about recovery, has always influenced my life in a really great way.
In what way?
You know, he was, if you meet alcoholics, he was as low as you can get. You get to your absolute depths. And he rose out of the ashes. I mean, he should have been dead 3 times. And he went on to run this organization that was millions of people around the world. You know, our kitchen, all my childhood at 3 in the morning, the kitchen door I slept over the kitchen, and I would hear the door come open downstairs, and Dad was 12-stepping some drunk. He devoted his life to others, and my parents were very, very wonderful to other people and very inclusive, and those stories have informed me.
Yeah, well, you see that in your life. It's the same. No, I do. I see it. Where do you write and why?
I write anywhere I can. Find 5 minutes. I do have a study that I work in. As my marriage has gone on, my offices have gotten smaller and smaller. I've had some really beautiful offices, Raymond, and now I work in about a 12 by 14 study next to my bedroom.
Oh my God.
But you know, I'm the guy who's on the laptop in the airport, and I work all the time.
And you can write fiction in the airport?
Absolutely, I do it all the time. I was doing it today.
Oh.
Yeah, and on the planes are like the best.
Yeah, well, you're isolated.
Quiet.
And
wonderful. Somebody brings you tea. I mean, how can you beat it?
Not me. They bring me, old peanuts. If you could choose one writing mentor, past or present, who would it be?
If I could choose like a new one?
A new one or someone alive or dead?
It's great that you mentioned this, especially for STORYENTED, because I would not be here without mentors. I tried to be a musician for a number of years and wrote songs and did all that. And during that period, I was taken under the wing of a man named Stan Silverman, who had been the lead writer for a show called Sea Hunt.
Oh, sure.
And I was trying to write scripts, and Stan led me with, a nose ring on how to do this right, and he passed me on to a guy named Franklin Heller, who mentored me through the novel process and became my agent and sold my first novel, which was my 3rd novel. So mentors, my dad, of course, was a writing mentor my whole life. They've just meant the absolute most to me. In terms of reading somebody, it would be John D. MacDonald.
Oh, sure. Well, the great police procedures.
Yeah.
What's the name of the book? Precinct?
He did Travis McGee.
Yeah. Huge series.
A
series of books.
Years and years ago. He wrote
Amazing
73
writer.
books. Yeah.
If you could write anything else aside from thrillers and middle grade, what would you write?
I would write like one of our callers gave us, I would write a family saga.
Tell me about Kingdom Keepers 7. You wanted to tell me a story about it.
Yeah, so Kingdom Keepers 7, I was coming to the end of this series, and being the architect I am, I had it all laid out. And I was getting, honestly, I was getting, probably 300-400 emails a week from readers like Lorenzo, a friend of mine who is an amazing reader of the Kingdom Keepers series. And I realized that these young readers like Lorenzo knew my work better than I, because they had read it 4 times. I now have the record. On my last book tour, a boy had heard me talking and said, you know, some people read these books 6 and 7 times. He had read the first Kingdom Keepers 19 times, at which point you call security. Right. But nonetheless, I realized it was going to be unfair to finish it the way I had architected it, because I wouldn't be including the people to whom it was so important. And I tried to find a way that I could solicit their help. And of course, you can't in this litigious society. You're going to get sued.
Right.
So eventually, I found a company called Colloquy and a wonderful woman named Lisa Rutherford, who knew a way to make an app that would legally protect me. So we created a Kingdom Keepers Insider app with Disney money through Lisa Rutherford's brilliance. And we solicited, I wrote it, I serialized the book is what I did. I wrote a new chapter every week, posted it Sunday night, and posted an outline with multiple choices on it. So I had a community the first week of 400 helping me decide. The second week was, I think, 16 or 1,800. The third week was 5,000. The fourth week was 15,000. By the time we were at full strength, we had 150,000 kids from around the world writing my book with me.
Oh my God.
And some of them, each week I would solicit, I'd say, a temple, you know, an old Mayan temple is going to fall to the ground. What's that going to look like? Write 1 paragraph. And we would get about 2,000 submissions a week. We read them all. We voted the best one, and I put that person's writing in my book. So I published 38 young kids in book 7. Wow. And it just became it was a killer project, but it became one of the most fun things I've done, because it was truly a community written book.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and it engages
as it should have been
them.
To end it.
Yeah.
So
no,
it came to the right end.
It's beautiful. Well, and now it's coming to a rightful beginning.
Yes.
With the return.
Yes.
So, Ridley Pearson, thank you so much for being here. It's been a joy.